Hello, my ginger loves. Welcome to Tea Time with Joss. I am your co-host, Joss. Remember that I am not for everyone, and neither is this reading. So take what's yours. Don't steal what's not. Let's get started. I hope everyone went out and did some kind of work for yourself. We are still in the eclipse season. The Mercury retrograde ends today. We go into the post-shadow phase until I think the 13th of May. And so still communication, making sure that we're going over our contracts, making sure that we are reviewing every single line, every single word, making sure that we are just slowing down and taking time to really handle our business appropriately and accordingly is very important. We had the full moon in Scorpio, and so a lot of shadowy things, a lot of things coming up from the past, a lot of things that you need to clear up, a lot of things you need to release, things that you may not have been wanting to deal with, a lot of things that brought up a lot of emotions, whatever kind of emotions they are for you. All of those things may have come up for you, and so doing your work to release. The full moon is a time of release, and so I hope that everyone took advantage of that to be able to rid yourself of the remaining residue of the things that you don't need. Because in this year, in the year of 8, it is the year of karma, but it is also the year of material abundance. So it is the year where you are going to see what you have sown, whatever that is. And if you've been doing your work, then some wonderful things, are already happening for you or in the process of happening for you. Also, because the veil is all but gone, we want to be very particular, very cautious about who we are allowing into our energy. You want to be very careful who you are allowing back into your space. If people from your past are coming back, I'm not in any way saying deny those people access to you, but be very discerning. There is a lot of spiritual attacks going on right now, especially with the full moon in Scorpio that we just had. A lot of negative spell work is being done, especially against light workers, sensitives, people who are healers, people who just, you shine very brightly. And there's been a lot of spiritual warfare going on over, the last week. You may have really felt it during the retrograde. You may have been tired. You may have been having ascension symptoms, headaches, nausea, body aches, like flu-like type things going on. And so, you just want to make sure that you are covering yourself, protecting yourself, wearing your protective amulets, doing your spiritual baths, your salt baths, clearing your energy, taking time to sit out in the sun if the sun is available where you live, enjoying nature, just freeing yourself of anything that may be trying to attach itself to you, covering your head so that you can keep away or keep down the amount of psychic attack that may be going on. Just protection. I've really been very heavy into reading the book of Psalms lately. The book of Psalms, just my opinion, it's a book of spells. And so it is a book of spells mostly about protecting yourself, about the protection that you have through your connection with the Most High God. And knowing that you are protected, knowing that even though God may allow some things to take place in your life and you may experience some turbulence, God is still there with you. And so definitely Psalm 71 has been my favorite lately. Also Psalm 91. If you are into doing return to sender, Psalm 91 and Psalm 109, those are also, return to sender spell works. And you know, whether or not you believe that it's a book of spells is personal to you, but words are spells. There is power of life and death in the tongue, and so every time you're speaking spells. You're speaking what you want to manifest, what you want to take place. And so if you've been feeling like you're under attack, if you've been feeling like things are going on and you're feeling energy that you are certain does not belong to you, it's because there are some things being sent your way. So, you know, somebody may want to read, you know, the book of Psalms, Psalm 23. You know, you may just want to amp up your protection in that way as well. Speak it out loud, write it down, burn it on paper, whatever works for you. But I just feel like people should know that now is the time for protecting yourself, in whatever way works for you. I don't practice black magic. I do not condone black magic of any kind. And I don't advise to do black magic because when it wears off and it comes back, guess it was going back to. So, you know, I want to caution you in that way. But if you are approaching things with purity and a sincere heart, genuinely asking God to help you and to protect you and to ward off any negative things that are being sent your way, negative thoughts, words, deeds, energy being sent to you, and you're asking God to just redirect that energy back to wherever it came from, because you know that you've not done anything to deserve what's being sent to you, then I feel like it's coming from a pure place and you don't have to concern yourself with it backfiring. However, if you are on the other side of that and you believe in putting people in jars and, you know, doing things like that, that's your business. That's your right. But just be careful. Anywho, I felt like that needed to be said. Let's get started. On the bottom, we have warrior, be fearless and stand strong. So yeah, it's time for you to take a stand. It's time for you to stop letting fear of whatever is possibly being sent your way to take over and gain some control. I also want to say, because this is, you know, coming to me, it's possible to be doing it to yourself. If you're constantly in a space of thinking poor thoughts, if you're constantly in a space of feeling like just a lot of low vibrational negative type energy, you're doing it to yourself. So also be mindful of your thoughts, be mindful of your words, be mindful of your deeds, because the energy that's being sent to you might be coming from you. Sky Father, trust in the unknown. Just what I was saying. Know that God is with you. Know that God is protecting you. God got your back. Your angels have your back. Whomever. That's too many, but I call back my power. So I talk to y'all a lot about before you go to bed, calling back. I clear my energy field. Another thing I was saying, calling your power back before you go to bed. Call back your power when you wake up, when you get up in the morning, when you rise. Call back your power from north, south, east, west, from every corner of the earth. Call back your power. Power that you've given away willingly and unwillingly, that may be being used in a negative way. You have star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. So definitely it's very important to listen to your intuition. Your soul might be speaking very loud to you right now. Your ancestors, you know, God may be giving you dreams or sending you visions, things like that, on what you need to do, on next steps. I had the weirdest dream like a few nights ago about this really huge, big, black, tall And it was so black that it wasn't transparent. Like you couldn't see through it. And it was like a monster type thing. Okay, creature. I don't know what it was. Very big, very dark. You know, it was tall and it was wide and, you know, very forceful. And he was trying to get me, you know, so you may be getting some dreams or some things may be coming to you. And it's very important to have a dream journal, so that you can write it down, whatever you remember, because you may not understand the context of the dream or what it has to do with anything. It might make absolutely zero sense to you at the time, but later on, it may make sense to you later. So there may be some dreams coming. Both the Sky Father and the Star Ancestor have a lot of blue, so someone may be called to be using your voice, and maybe that's something you're afraid of, you know, speaking your truth, telling your story. But just know that God will give you the power, will give you what you need to speak your truth, operating authentically. Definitely clearing your energy is necessary, especially right now with what's going on in the ethers. My breath connects me to life. So yeah, another card with blue. Another thing about the throat chakra. Okay, so using your voice. And I feel like this may be for a person who you have a lot of wisdom. You speak a lot of light and a lot of love into people, over people. And it helps to bring into you like your tribe. It's coming under I call back my power. So definitely you need to be saying it out loud. Don't just think it. Literally call it back to you, because you may be, I'll say this, and this is something I've had to personally learn. Everybody is not worth your advice. Everybody's not worth your time, the energy, because you can speak life over people as much as you want until you're literally blue in the face. But if they are not capable of receiving it or of speaking that same life over themselves, you've just wasted energy. So call back the energy that you've used from anyone who's not deserving. It's just that simple. My light attracts light. So like I said, you're calling in, you know, your soul tribe. You're calling in those who are meant to be a part of your energy, those who are worthy of being connected to you. And it's not to say that you're better than anyone. It's just that sometimes we're in a place in life where we've surpassed where certain people around us are. And if you want to give advice, if you want to help guide and direct, that's fine. It's up to you. But I just say, be very discerning with that. Give it to those who you know will receive it in love and light, who will actually use the energy that you've spoken over them in a positive way. People who are not attention whores, people who are not just looking for someone to feel sorry. You know, like, you don't want that, because to me that's wasted energy. Everybody is not going to be ready for what you have to say. People who are especially people who are, you know, maybe doing shadow work, or people who are in their what's the words I'm looking for? I can't get my words together. People who are doing their, oh my God, y'all, I'm drawing a blank. I literally can't get my words together. But it's people who are doing the work, the ego death. Oh my God, it would not come to me. So there could be somebody going through an ego death right now, and they're trying to keep me from saying it. But sometimes when we're going through our ego death, when we're experiencing that, we tend to be very offended by everything. Everything is offensive. Everything is taken personally. And so your advice, though well intentioned, to a person that's going through ego death, they're going to take it the wrong way. It's not your business how they receive it, but it just might be that they're not worth you pouring into them so deeply. They're not ready to handle it. And that's it. Okay? Let's get these. So we have Oshun Justice. She was in the reverse. I don't take these in the reverse, but somebody might just be feeling like something's not fair. You know, and again, that goes back to that ego death. Excuse me, feeling offended by everything. You know, it might be that God is putting you, or some people in a space and a place where their things are beginning to get balanced. The scales are being balanced, and unfortunately, you gotta let your ego go in order for you to be able to receive. Okay, because ego is our masculine, and if you are a person that you are constantly in your masculine energy, then sometimes you're just gonna be offended all the time. It doesn't matter what people say. I do feel like whoever this is that you're using your voice, your throat chakra is activated. You may have been doing some work where you've been talking to people. I'm just getting the energy of talking. Maybe you have a channel, or maybe you have a podcast or something like that. But things are beginning to even out for you. The scales are being balanced, where at one point you may have felt helpless. You may have felt like things were not working out. You may have felt just drained and tired, and you needed to just remove a lot of people from your space. You needed to remove a lot of behaviors and patterns, a lot of thought processes, things like that. And you've been using your voice as a way to do that. So you may have been calling your power back to you, maybe not in the way, that's generally suggested, but maybe you've just been doing different types. You've been changing, okay? And these changes that you have been making a very big impact on who you share space with. Because let me tell you, when you really begin to stand, as they say, on business, and you really begin to operate in who you really are, people that are not meant for you are going to fall off. And that's just how it goes. That's a part of the healing process. That's a part of growing. And it's a part of, especially if you are a person that you're called to do something in the spiritual realm. Okay? You're going to have a lot of people fall off. But things are balancing out. There may have been... You ever seen those memes where people say they prayed and asked God to remove all their enemies, and all their friends fell off? That is that type of energy. Okay? You may have been praying for God to remove people, places, things that no longer serve you, things you didn't need, and all of a sudden, like lightning, everything is just gone. Everybody gone, and everything is gone. And that's okay. You have to learn to release. You have confirmation. And you have crystal technology, silicon. So this is about remembering that we are light beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. That there are technologies inside of us that we may never understand. Things that make us who and what we are. And then, you know, this confirmation, this intergalactic mastery, it could just be that you're rising and you're really coming into who you are. There are signs, synchronicities, things happening around you, things happening for you and to you in some cases, to remind you that you are beyond this human experience and that you have to use what God has blessed you with in order to operate in divine purpose. Something fell on the floor. What's this? Hold on.